Hi everyone, I'm Jonna Rodriguez with Easter Seals of Greater Houston. I'm with the Bridging Apps program, and I'm broadcasting live to answer some of your questions. Today I'm talking about some translating options. The new iOS 14, which is something we started talking about last week, brings with it a new built-in app called Translate. This one's made by Apple, and if you're using an Apple product and have updated to the newest iOS 14, you might have noticed that there's a new app. The icon is on the screen here. It's the dark one with a gray world, and there's two text bubbles there, one with an A and the other with a different language letter. So we're going to look at two apps. We're going to look at the new Translate app that's made by Apple, the new built-in app. We're also going to look at Google Translate. They have very similar options. We're going to take a look at what they both offer. So I'm just going to take a moment here. I'll be demonstrating on an iPhone. And to start off with, I'm going to take a look and demonstrate the new Apple Translate app. So I'll switch my screen here. Let's take a look. Okay, and before even getting into that, I'm demonstrating it here once more. This is what it looks like. It's the darker app there that has the two text bubbles. So I'm going to open this, and if you've updated and you haven't noticed this, go ahead and take a look through your phone and see if it might show up in a new place. So across the top here, there are two options. It says English and Spanish. If I type either of those languages, I'm given a couple of other options of languages. So you can see there's several in here. For this demonstration, I'm going to keep it on Spanish. And let's go ahead and look a little bit lower. You can see very faintly it says Enter Text. Below that, there's a round teal button that looks like a microphone. And at the very bottom, it says Translate and Favorites. To start off with, I am going to speak in English. The language on the left, the upper left, is the language it's listening for, and it'll translate to the language on the right. So I'm going to press the teal button here for it to listen to me. Hello, I'm looking for a store that sells shoes. Now we can see here that it's translated onto the screen. Something else that's pretty cool about this, I'm going to switch my camera here. Something that I like about this app is that we can turn the screen sideways and it comes up pretty big. So if you're having a conversation with someone, this is a nice way to have big, bold, easy to read letters that show the translation. And there is an option on here as well to have it speak aloud, though because I'm tethering right now for this broadcast, you won't be able to hear it. But there is an option, there's a play button, like a triangle inside of a circle, that will have it read aloud the text that it's translated for you. Now, this is very straightforward. That's one of the best things about this app, and that's something that Apple is great at. Is there's not so many options, which makes it easier. The more options, the more there is to learn. So this app is fantastic, straightforward, very easy to use. And if it's something that you need any support in, please let us know. We'd be happy to help with that. Now, on contrast, if you're not using an iPhone, or maybe you need a language that's not available on this list, Google Translate, which I also have on my screen here, it's the one that has the blue part of the logo with a G, a white G in it. That is the Google Translate app. This one, both of these apps are free. However, the Apple one is not available for phones that are not Apple devices. And Google Translate is also free and available on both. So what I'll do now is switch my screen here. There we go. We're taking a look at the phone demonstration again. This time I'm clicking on Google Translate. And across the top, very similar here, we have the two languages, the one it's listening for and the one it'll translate to. This also has an option of camera, handwriting, conversation, and voice. With camera, you can point your camera to written text, it'll translate. It's actually quite fascinating how that works. Handwriting, if someone would like to write out a language, which is especially great and useful for languages that have a very unique style to how they're written. Conversation will listen for 2 voices, and voice will strictly do 1, as I demonstrated in the previous app. So for example's sake, I've got here Czech and English languages. It's listening for Czech. I'm going to give this a little try and choose voice in the kind of mid right side here. I'll give this a tap. Ahoj, jak se máš? Ja mluvíte? Ja mluvím trošičku česky. Let's see how that translation worked out. I stumbled on my first word there. And I meant to just say I speak a little Czech, and got that a little scrambled there. I'm going to give it one more try. Let's see. Ahoj, jak se máš? Ja mluvím trošičku česky. There we go. So the translation that shows up here is brought it to, hi, how are you? I speak a little Czech. So the other thing that's good about this Google Translate, it's been around a little bit longer, and on the upper left here, if I choose the language Czech, here's all of the languages available, and you can see there's many more in here than there are in the Apple app, the Apple Translate app. So, as I mentioned before, the Apple Translate app is a new free built-in feature with iOS 14. Very straightforward, great, simple way to use a translating tool. And alternatively, if you're not on an Apple device, or maybe the language that you need to translate to or from isn't available in the Apple app for translating, try Google Translate, which has many more options of languages to choose from. I hope that everyone is prepared for a great weekend. If you're local to the Houston area, there's going to be a little bit of stormy weather today, so everyone stay safe. Please let us know if you're using any of these Translate apps, things that you love and maybe need some support in. We'd love to assist. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you next time. Bye.